Hello LEGO fans, Bricks Unbound here with another LEGO NEXO Night set review. This is a 2017 release for NEXO Nights. It's called Lance vs. Lightning. It's set number 70359. Comes with 257 pieces and retails in the United States for $24.99, and it is a Toys R Us exclusive. So you have to go to the Toys R Us or a LEGO store to pick this one up. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. According to LEGO's official description of this set, this depicts Lance riding his robotic horse into the village of Gulia, where he will do battle with Grimroc, who's the big buildable figure here. So there's three main builds. You have the Grimroc build, you have Lance's horse, and then a little bit of village scenery here too that we'll see better once we take Grimroc out of his place. We'll go ahead and start out with that village scenery. So this definitely has the colors of the lightning monsters in it. Pretty simple build all around for it, but I do really like it that you get a little bit of terrain in this set. And if we take a look here, it is kind of a stand for Grimroc, so I like this because it kind of seems like, you know, he's built out of stone into the side of this building, and then he will just crack his way out, you know, and then take one step, take another step, so he's really like coming alive out of the rock, which is a pretty cool effect. I'm not entirely sure if that's intentional, but it is nice that he has this stand here. And you can see there's a couple studs there, and the backs of his feet just snap right onto those, so that way he doesn't fall out. With him removed, there's his little standing area with a forbidden power there in the middle. I believe that's called malicious melting. We'll take a closer look at that with the other power in this set. As we go around the side, lots of these new lightning elements, which are great pieces to get. Also, you can adjust the elements up top here. They can go forward and back. If you move the gargoyle out of the way, you have even more possibilities. From the back, very plain. It's just, like I said, mainly a stand for our Grimroc there. And there's a nice ledge up here too. It's just 2 studs wide, but where you can stand the gargoyle before he flies off. This set also comes with 2 of these little printed guys. I believe they're called gravelers. And the idea with these is you stick them in this catapult and hit here, and it will launch them off. So that's fun. You get 2 of them in the set. It's just an extra little play feature to attack the horse. I like that you get these minifigure, or these little tiny minifigure statue type pieces in dark bluish gray. And that really does it for the stand. Not a whole lot of pieces to build it up. The most exciting, well, one of the most exciting builds in this set is definitely the Grimroc buildable figure. So this is superposable, uses lots of the ball joints that were introduced with Mixels, so you have tons of posability in the legs, and the arms have 2 ball joints. I like how the hands are built up as well. They kind of use a different technique I hadn't really seen before to build those, which worked really well because it lets you make smaller hands than just using giant like construction style hand pieces. His weapons are made up of these pieces here. This is a great source of these lightning elements. You get a total of 4 in the set and then 1 in the extra parts. And it's a pretty nice build. It makes it a good size, and the lightsaber handle just fits right into his hand perfectly fine via this purple clip. Good printed torso piece here. This helmet mold, again, it's just in a new color. It was in black in the first couple seasons of NEXO Nights with those new spike pieces off to the side. Around the back, it's pretty plain with some exposed studs, which doesn't look the best, but I think for the size of figure they're going for, it works very well. And you get a bunch of these pyramid pieces in translite blue. So that does it for the baddie builds in this set. Next up is Lance's robot horse. And this thing is pretty awesome. Again, tons of posability with it because it has ball joints on all of its legs at kind of the hips and the more the knee area, as well as articulating feet. They did a good job use of these fez style pieces for the hooves on it, and you can really pose this well. You can see right now it's just standing on 3 legs. I kind of have it in the idea of being a charging pose, like if it's jousting. has a movable tail as well that can go up and down. And I always like it when they do this, as you probably know. But there's clips here and on the other side if you want to store Lance's shield. His jousting pole here, his giant lance, just sticks right into one of those pieces with a nice bar at the end that can receive bars into the other end. And of course the legs can go all over the place with those ball joints. They can bend here, they can go up and down. Works for, and look, yeah, I didn't really even try to stand it up any particular way, and it's pretty sturdy considering how spindly its legs kind of are, but I do think it gives it a nice horse look. And its head can be rotated up, well, it can be moved up and down with its mane, so plenty of articulation there. You can also spin it to the side here, so it can go like this. The problem is the handlebars are attached to it there, as you can see. So you have to unhook Lance from where he's standing to do that, which looks a little strange. So I think it's best just to keep it forward. Got Lance winking at us there. Always love that face. There are a couple stickers in this set. There's not too many. There's one here for the mane and one here for the front of the head, as well as two on Grimroc's lower legs. And if you compare them size-wise, I think it looks like a pretty fair match between the two, wouldn't you say? Now there's one more fantastic thing about this horse. So if you own the Lance's battle suit, this set here, you can actually combine it with this horse, which I was not expecting at all until I saw the picture on the back of the box. So what you do is you basically make a centaur out of it. So you pull off Lance in the middle here, remove that pin, so then we have just the top half of the battle suit. Then you unattach the horse's head, just like that, and stick these together. And now look at that. Doesn't that look awesome? I think it looks awesome. Having a now centaur mech for Lance. Man, that just looks really cool. I'm glad the designers made it so even this smaller set can combine with all the battle suits, because of course you don't have to use the Lance one. All of them have the same connection points, so you could have Macy on this too. I think it looks best with Lance since the color schemes match, but doesn't that look awesome? I just love it so much. And of course, you know, you still have these legs left over and this left over, so if you're really feeling crazy, you stick those together. Now he's got his little rolling jousting thing. He's just kind of hanging out in the middle of nowhere, but you can do it. And you got two little vehicles for Lance. I just really like that feature. Let's go ahead and move on to the minifigures in this set and see what they look like. There are two minifigures in this set. We have Lance and a gargoyle, which is a generic member of the Monster Army this season. And really, they both are pretty good looking figures. The thing that stands out most, of course, are all of the new pieces with them. So we're going to talk about that first before we remove all of their armor. So the gargoyle has a new shoulder piece there that has two studs on the back, which are used to attach some clips for these wings, which are also fantastic new pieces, as is that helmet. Just the detailing on all these, but especially the wings, is really intricate with those molds. Lots of nice fine shaping in there. And here's what they look like from the back. Like I said, just two clips attaching them. Lance has a new armor piece, which if we remove his shield here, so he comes with the power triple trouble, and then here's a nice lance, which does have a new piece at the end with a little bit of kind of optical illusion effect. It's hard to catch it on camera, but obnoxiously large lance, which I think looks better posed on the horse. With those items removed, now we can take a look at his new armor piece. It's just a little bit different from last season, a little bit more pointed in the shoulders and down at the chest. This visor piece is the same mold he's had before, but instead of being in that silver color, it is now in trans orange. The gargoyle doesn't actually come with any accessories. However, there are enough extra pieces in the set that if you want, you can make one of these with the lightsaber handle and one of the extra lightning bolt pieces that comes with it, which looks perfectly fine, I think. Just stick that in his hand and he's ready to go. Let's go ahead and remove their armor so we can take a look at their printing. with their armor removed, you can see that Lance has the exact same head he's had since the beginning of NEXO Knights. He does have new printing on his torso and legs though, which I think looks very good. Still managing to get the futuristic armored knight look. And the gargoyle has very nice printing on its torso and legs as well, quite intricate there. And good head print around the back. You get Lance's winking face. And there's the back printing. So in addition to these two figures, you also of course get the buildable Grimroc figure that we already looked at. You also get two of these Gravelers, the kind of really small generic massable bad guys for this season round, the equivalent of Globlins from last season. And they don't look too special unless you compare them to a Globlin. Then you'll see that LEGO really fixed a major problem they had last season with these things. And that is the face print. So, all of these two both have the face printed a way that I really like. So when you stick them onto a stud like that, it's pointing forward and easy to see by the NEXO Knights that they're charging towards. This guy, however, when they printed the Globlins, they printed like all of them upside down. Kind of. I don't think that was the best orientation to do that in, because if you stick them on a stud like this, they're not looking directly at any bad guys. They're looking straight up in the air. And I mean, you have to have it turned like this if you want the same effect of it looking you straight on. So awesome job, LEGO, correcting that. I really wish it wouldn't have been a problem in the first place. And the forbidden power in this set is Malicious Melting. I haven't played the app much, so I haven't scanned any of the forbidden powers in to see what they do. If anybody has, let me know about them down in the comments below. Alright, that does it for the figures. Let's go ahead and move on to my final thoughts. So if you couldn't already tell, I really like this set. I think it's a great deal for the $25, right? The 257 pieces, so the price per piece is excellent. And the builds are all pretty good. I mean, the terrain is the least interesting, but it's kind of an extra thing, really, because the main things to play with are going to be your horse and your Grimroc buildable figure. So the terrain is really just something extra for them to fight on and around, which I think is great. I think it does the job. They didn't waste a lot of pieces on it. They used lots of big pieces, so it goes together quick, and you can get right into playing with the figures. The ability to combine that horse with the Lance battle suit is fantastic. It looks so good. I'm really glad they're doing that with a lot of these sets, and I was not expecting it at all from this set. The Grimroc figure is also a nice build. Reminds me a lot of many of the villains from last season, which is not a bad thing at all, because it's very fun to build up your figures, have something a little bit bigger and more imposing to fight your heroes instead of just the minifigures. And the two Gravelers are fixed from the Globlins last season, which is also great. And there's lots and lots of great new pieces in this set as well. So really, I don't know if I have anything bad to say about this set, which seems a little unfair to maybe some of the other ones, but it's really well done. I would definitely recommend picking this up if you find yourself at a Toys R Us and are at all interested in the NEXO Knights theme. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below, and please come back for more reviews. Thank you.